My mother, Aleh Shalom, had an expression when she was confronted with an unpleasant situation that she could not change. She would say, if you hang long enough, you get used to hanging. That was her way of saying that when a situation is something that is not particularly redeemable, then what we have to do, the healthy thing to do, is to be able to adjust to it, to live through it. And so it is. Chazal tell us that in a similar sense, that there is a concept of hergel na'aseh teva, that once we become accustomed to something, it becomes second nature to us. And that works both in a good sense and in a negative sense as well. In the good sense, soldiers who train for the army, athletes, musicians, train and train and train to such a degree that they do not even have to think about what they do. What they do becomes second nature. And that's, in a general sense, very positive. On the other hand, the negative aspect of hergel na'aseh teva is that when we have something which is good and beautiful, our repetitious actions over and over again can numb us to the beauty of what we are actually doing. Mitzvot that are done on a daily basis can, if we're not careful, become hergel, can become something which we are just habituated to. The Gemara in Ketubot tells us a very interesting story about a non-Jew and a Jew who were walking together long after the Beit HaMikdash was destroyed. The Jew was walking very rapidly. The non-Jew could not keep up. And the non-Jew understood Jewish customs and ideas. So he called out, Churban Bayit, the Beit HaMikdash is destroyed. The Jew stopped. He sighed, and then he went on. And once again, the non-Jew could not keep up with him. And when the non-Jew said, I understand that a sigh itself is supposed to take away a half of your strength, how is it that you continue to go at this rapid pace? The Jew responded, that has to do when we sigh over something which is new, some tragedy which is new, but that tragedy which is old, we do not lose that strength. That's the trick that we all have now. The trick that we have is during these 3 weeks to be able to renew our understanding to the best that we can of what it is that we lost in the Beit HaMikdash, what it means to lose Jewish religious sovereignty, to be able to govern ourselves in such a way that we can be Ovdei Hashem in Eretz Yisrael as we should. So the trick of these days is now to make this idea of the 3 weeks renewed, so that when we sigh, the sigh is not of that of a person who is eingewehnt and perfectly comfortable with what has happened, or almost perfectly comfortable, but rather of a person who once again can think and rethink what he has lost so that we can become better at what we do.